Hi, how's it going, everybody? I'm going to do a quick video here to show you how to map your controls for the video games in the new Chronos Ultimate. Okay, so your home screen is going to look a lot different than this. I realize that. Don't pay any attention to that. Okay, let's see. You want this app right here, RetroArch. On yours, it might just be the little black guy for an icon. Look around, you can find it. Might be in your app drawer. So you're going to click on that with your controller. You have to have your controller plugged in and ready to go because your remote won't work inside this app. So you're going to click on this. Okay, then it'll load up. Now once you're in, it's going to look a little different than this. Yours will be either black and green or white and blue, but all the menu items are in the same place. This is just a custom version of that. So as soon as you touch a button, it's going to say your gamepad was configured in port 0. So you're going to go, let's see, push over until you get to settings, okay? On your version, I believe there are only 3 tabs, but you're going to go over until you push over to settings. You're going to go down to input, okay? You're going to see very similar stuff to this, okay? You're going to scroll down to where it says input hotkey binds and input user 1 binds. Okay, we're going to do the user 1 binds first. So you're going to click on that. Okay, scroll down. What you're going to do here is map your buttons for your controller. So you're going to scroll down to bind all. When you click on this, it's going to go through each button. It's going to give you 5 seconds to hit the button that you want for that particular button. So when I click on it, the thing's going to pop up that says A button down. So it's telling me the button on the bottom of my controllers, like A, B, X, Y, is going to be your A button. It wants you to hit that button. So you'll hit it, and then it'll go to the next button. Okay? So you just got to pay attention to what it says. Hit the button that you want to correspond with the button that it's displayed on the screen. I'll show you right here. Select, start, up on the D-pad, down on the D-pad, left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, A button, X button, left shoulder, left trigger, right trigger, but mine screws up. It's just because of this controller. Then analog, left analog right, left analog left, left analog down, left analog up, right analog right, right analog left, right analog down, right analog up. Okay, so now all the buttons are going to be mapped. I did have a couple that messed up, and I noticed when I hit it that it didn't work correctly, so I'm going to fix those real quick. We had, this is going to be my triggers. Okay, left trigger. So you can go and do them individually if you want. You don't have to do them all at the same time. It's just easier. Right trigger. And then I believe a couple of my analogs were incorrect. Right, left, down, up. Yep, okay, I see it right. Right, left, we're gonna just do them again. Okay. Down, up. Okay, so all of my buttons are mapped. Now I'm gonna go up here to the top and I'm going to click Save Auto Config. So from now on, it'll automatically configure that controller, that very specific controller that's in your hand, for those buttons when you connect it. Okay. Now, the next part is the hotkeys. Now this is a little bit tricky, but if you follow this step by step, you'll be just fine. Okay. So what these do is let you do other special commands inside the game. Some of them will be important, like saving or exiting the game or opening up the menu. So these are important. First one we're going to do is enable hotkey. Okay. So we're going to scroll down until we see that. Enable hotkeys. Okay. So when I hit this button, it's going to ask me to select the hotkey enable button that I want. I'm going to use the select button, and I recommend that you do the same. That way everybody's is set up the same. So I'm going to hit this and then hit select. Okay. Now what that means is as long as I'm holding down the select button, any of these other buttons that I set will work. As long as I'm not holding it down, they don't do anything. Otherwise, it would make it difficult to play games if you were pressing the X button and it exited a game. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the top. We're going to go to load state. So when you hold down select and hit this button, it will load your last saved game from that slot. Okay. Don't worry about the slots. That gets a little bit confusing, but when you hit save slot, it'll automatically save that game. When you hit load slot, it'll automatically load that game. Okay. So for these, I like to do my bumpers, right bumper, left bumper. Okay. So we're going to go load state will be my left bumper. Save state will be my right bumper. Okay, so that won't do anything unless I'm holding down the select button. Quit retroarch. I like to make this the right thumbstick, okay, to click it. You can set it however you want, but that's what I like to do. So we're going to hit quit retroarch, and then we're going to click the right joystick. So now when you hold down select and click the right joystick, it'll exit the game. Okay, save state slot. So this is how you can select which save slot that game will go in. I'm going to use the triggers. Okay, left trigger and right trigger. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Menu toggle is the only other one that's important as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to use start for this one. Okay, so I'm going to hit the button and I'm going to hit start. Now if you hold down select and hit start, it'll bring up this menu that you see right here inside of a game. So if you need to edit your controls or anything, which you shouldn't need to, but just in case, you can hold down select and hit start. It'll bring up the menu for you. Okay, that's almost it. Almost done. Now, you need to make sure, so you're going to go push back. Now we're back in settings, okay. We're going to go back to the main menu. Okay, here we go. Now we're in settings. Go to configuration and make sure it says save on exit on, okay. If it's not on, turn it on. Then go back to your main display here, and go to configurations, and click Save Current Configuration. That's it. Now any controller that you have will work with your box as long as you've set it up like that. Xbox 360 controllers work good. Most USB gamepads work good. Bluetooth controllers work great. They come with a couple of hiccups. Sometimes if your controller disconnects, it becomes a pain, but all you have to do is restart your game. No big deal. That's it. Let me know if you have any issues. Hopefully that was simple enough for you. I know it can seem like a lot, but if you just follow it step by step, pause it when you need to go do one step, and then come back and unpause it so that you don't lose your place, it should be just fine.